107. My name is Renata Samuscad.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kevin Mendes. Welcome to your Monday episode. Thank you so much for starting your week with Renata and I. Ren, I'm excited about today.
You're excited? Tell me why you're excited, babe. Who do we have on?
Who do we have? We have Jules joining us today for the Monday morning beef.
And
there's some very good
tasty topics that are coming up. I hear 7. Do I hear 7? 7 things to go through, guys. So definitely a dynamic conversation. True. But apart from the beef that's going to be steaming, we're also going to be talking with Belize about 25 years of service and what that means for Belize, what that means for you. So stay tuned to that and other exciting conversation. You know how this works. Put your comments in the comment section, make it live interactive fun, and respect, of course. Shall we get to the couch?
Let's go to the couch.
Sunup. Seek the answer that's worth looking for today.
And we're going to be talking about the hot shush that has been happening. The world that we see may seem that will never change. They say, but if you tear down the wall that's blinding us all, you'll see the way today. A place to call your home, a place where you can go. Stand by me and we'll take flight. Muy buenos dias, my beautiful Sunup 7 family. Welcome to your Monday episode. It's March 23rd. I want to say thank you so much for welcoming Renata into your space. If you're watching via Facebook, YouTube, or cable TV, we're so excited to be with you today. Before we get into everything, we're going to bring you the weather, and that's courtesy of the Belize Met Service.
Good morning. Radar and satellite observations show that the weather was mainly fair across the country last night, with only light isolated showers occurring. Mainly dry conditions prevail over the region and will support similar weather today and tonight. The 24-hour forecast is for sunny skies with a few cloudy spells today and partly cloudy skies tonight. Showers, if any, will be light and isolated. Winds over the open sea will be easterly at 10 to 15 knots, producing choppy seas. Maximum temperatures today will be around 83 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 87 inland, but only 74 degrees up in the mountains. The outlook for Tuesday and Tuesday night is for continuing mainly fair weather with only isolated showers. There is a low tide at 6:25 this morning and the high comes up at 12:26 this afternoon. Another low is at 8:12 tonight and another high at 2:30 tomorrow morning. The sun rose at 5:54 this morning and will set at 6:04 this evening. The moon comes up at 9:18 this morning and goes down at 11:03 tonight. In the fire risk forecast, the risk for forest and brush fires will be low today. With that, we end this report from the Belize Weather Bureau.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Just before our introduction, we had the weather and our traffic cam. As you can see, some people are saying traffic is getting a little busy in the city, which is really good to see. But who's on our couch is Jules, and Jules is ready for the Monday morning beef serving. Jules, the people want to know, how are you serving the beef today?
I don't know if I am ready. You said I'm ready. I don't know that I am
You have
ready.
a paper and your laptop.
I have a paper and a laptop. That usually
And your
means I'm not
glasses
ready.
today.
That means I'm not ready. These are glasses I found on the ground. I have nothing to do with them.
You're a prop.
Scandal. We just scandalize you, Jules.
Truth.
And I just want to make the viewers know that we're not taking pressure today as well because Jules not bringing the pressure things. So I'm putting that out there.
Yes.
That puts more pressure on
What
you.
happens is
I hear the excuse.
that people, you medical professionals, have complained that I'm giving blood pressure a bad name because of the blasé and casual way in which I do it. That blood pressure is serious business and I need to do it more seriously. So when I'm prepared infrastructurally to accommodate the proper modality for blood pressure analysis, then I sound like I'm a politician.
I just want you to know,
yes.
when you ever may worry about what people may say.
That true that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm caught.
Okay.
I'm caught.
You're caught.
I'm caught. Totally caught. Totally caught.
So definitely we need to see you next time for the blood pressure, but we have 7 dynamic topics to go through and we're gonna rip off the Band-Aid and get it done.
Yeah.
So let's start off with the first one with the PM's sugar pitch being rejected.
Yes. So, the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association met yesterday at Escuela Secundario Técnica Mexico, ESTM, and they rejected the offer that the Prime Minister gave them. What was the offer?
Wow, what was the offer?
So that's one of the cane farmers speaking very passionately. And, you know, this was the kind of emotion there yesterday. And the Prime Minister proposed that if you all accept $1 million in fertilizer assistance and a certain monthly amount, maybe 25,000, he's making this to a desperate cane farmers association, which is in a desperate state. You know, I will provide that if you drop the case. The pending litigation against ASR, BSI, and Tate and Lyle Sugar for fair trade premiums, which the cane farmers say is worth 11 million Belize dollars plus. So then, the government of Belize is working in the corporate interests of ASR, BSI, and Tate and Lyle Sugars. I just want to understand. So they took a vote to accept or reject. On the right side of your screen are those who reject the Prime Minister's recommendation. That's on the right. On the left are those who accept. It was about 75% rejecting the Prime Minister's, not recommendation, his offer. It was about 75% of the assembled rejecting it. That's on the right side. Now, so this is a repudiation for the Prime Minister in the North. But he does not care because he don't say he move on to progressive cane farmers. He has abandoned his fathers. I always say he's imprisoned by the political culture that he was raised in, his father's political culture. But one thing about Mr. John Briceño, he knows where the money be. And progressive cane farmers association are receiving the fair trade premium. He has switched over, and he said that. He not the cane farmers, which his father formerly chaired, as I recall, in the early 80s. I am just saying, John Briceño does not care about that repudiation. He cares about Tate and Lyle Sugars, ASR, BSI. I understand as a Prime Minister, you have to be extremely cognizant of the investor climate. Personally, I feel you can't sell out your people there. If you say, boy, uno broke, uno take this money, but uno left them alone. That, to me, is vende patria behavior. That the vende patria moves. This was first raised by Osmond Martinez at a meeting with the cane farmers in December of 2025. Osmond Martinez, we cannot forget, traveled to Washington, D.C. and was trotted around as an accompaniment to ASR executives. I understand as a minister you have to liaise, you have to have good relations, but you cannot compromise the well-being of your people or the best interest. I understand the sugar situation is difficult, but we have to know the history of the North. These are the caste war, the refugees from the caste war are who brought sugarcane farming to Belize, and they have had a history of resistance with the colonial government. With Tate and Lyle sugars, they struck, I remember reading the history, they struck so many times, went on strike between 1962 and 1973, when it was the vision of George Price that said, Tate and Lyle, let's take this from you. Let's redistribute it to the farmers. The farmers have to own these farms. They have to own the industry. It's a long history. It's a troubled history, but it is Belize's longest standing cash crop. And the history of it is unique because it is the descendants of the caste war that gave it that history. And there is a history of resistance. So you can't just say, man, Mr. International Corporation, the largest sugar refiner in the world, which is ASR, no just go on and run over their people. They won't accept it. So I think it was a very invidious proposal that the Prime Minister made, my opinion, to the cane farmers, saying, I know no broke, I no take this money, but I no left them big man loan. And they have soundly rejected it. Now, in the short term, this will affect them immensely because they desperately need the help from the government. And I would wish the government would not make that assistance contingent on kowtowing to a corporate agenda, on putting in work for international corporations against the interest of your own people. That a vendor patria behavior, I am sorry. I am sorry. I know the Prime Minister does not care. He wished, if it were his wish, I believe he would wish the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association, the association of his father, would broke right up. That is my belief.
Okay.
He believes, I believe he sees them as dysfunctional. Fair. That's his conclusion, I understand. But I think that Osmond Martinez and John Briceño are working. I don't want to be unkind. I try not to be unkind, but I think there's an unkindness in me. They are working as lackeys for multinational corporations against the interests of their own people. When you will use the state as a tool of leverage in favor of the corporations, when you will say the state will give you so much money if you drop this litigation against those corporations, this litigation in which you have already gained an advantage, the court has said that you can pursue it. When you will do that, it really makes me wonder, what is your priority? I understand. The government is under pressure, investment climate and everything.
Also using state funds to...
Using state funds, like actually trying to bribe people against their own interests with the use of state funds. I believe it's a very sad day, and it was soundly rejected by the cane farmers at the meeting. Show the picture again for me, Mr. Denver. So
what's next since the recommendation was rejected?
The future holds nothing but confrontation. I really don't know what's next. I think that they will continue to fight. That's the Prime Minister's proposal on the right there. I think they will continue to fight to get these funds without that caveat that you have to drop the litigation. This matter will go to court. It will probably end up in the CCJ, and it will cost them a lot of money and a lot of time. But they're fighting for almost $12 million in fair trade premiums, which they have been denied. So, it's the future holds nothing but confrontation, and no one can afford confrontation, neither BSI nor the cane farmers, because the sugar industry is in a state of near collapse. It's a very unfortunate state they find themselves in.
Yeah, and now with the increase in the fuel price, that may be another thing that they have to consider and how that will affect the industry also.
Huge factor.
Yeah.
Huge factor. But yeah, so and we can't ever, it's just that the actions of Osmond Martinez as a Minister of State with responsibility for the sugar industry, as I have said before, I find them troubling. We have pictures of the tour he went on in Washington, D.C. I don't know if that is really something that they're meeting with the good Senator Rick Scott in the previous picture. Those are ASR executives. I don't think you can negotiate in good faith after you have been on a tour with these guys where they're literally trotting you around Washington, D.C., say, hey, meet our friend from Belize.
Yeah.
This is Republic of Banana Affairs type moves,
Take
right?
all the pictures, and even just like,
Yeah.
just go. They take
Affairs
pictures.
of Banana Republic, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No, I'm
yeah.
saying it's not just like you're just going, you're taking pictures or showing proof, like, I was here.
Yes,
I did
yes.
This one,
But anyway, they have their own strategy. But we have to see where it goes. It'll be weeks of contention. But so we just have to keep monitoring it.
Yeah.
So we move right along on the Prime Minister still. Is he running away?
What did Bob Marley say? You're running away, but you can't run away from yourself. Every man thinketh his burden is the heaviest, and so does the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister has walked away from Channel 7, whether it be Courtney or myself. There you see him rejecting me. People say I should feel embarrassed about this. I'm very proud of this. You do your job. Prime Ministers have been walking away from me, from Manuel Esquivel, and even my godfather. I've been chasing down Prime Ministers since 1994. This ain't nothing new. This make I feel good. That is our job. But our job is to pursue interviews in the public interest. His job is to give interviews. It's the most fundamental duty of a politician is to report to the people. As you see me, you give me. It's simple as that. When you see me, you give me. Francis Fonseca, a mature politician, he stand up and take 30 minutes drilling from Marisol, myself, Shane from Channel 5. That's the job. That happened last Thursday when the Prime Minister ran away again. I approached him at the House of Culture, or what they call it now, Government House, whatever. I approached him at the Government House. I approached him in the same seat in which he sat 1 month ago for a special interview about a real estate development. Happily sat, spoke at length about the new sanctuary Belize. I am very surprised that the Prime Minister would have given an interview about a project with such a toxic reputation, but they're trying to bring it back, and I guess, there are big people behind it, and it's I believe there are.
Which project is that, Jules?
This is Sanctuary Belize is a project that crashed that went down in a ball of flame about 8 years ago, and was sanctioned by the Federal Trade Commission in the U.S. and people were left owed so much money, and now a well-known Belizean developer is trying to bring it back, and he has a credible reputation, and he has big money behind him, and I believe some good investors with good connections in the government. And the Prime Minister appeared right there at the House of Culture and gave a happy interview. I mention that because I find it strange that if you want to touch any real estate project and everybody wants the Prime Minister's stamp of approval, I found it a little odd that he would choose one with such a spotty reputation in the past. But he did that. That's fine. I approached him on that very same seat where he happily gave those American investors Belizean American investors an interview. And the man straight walk away from me like we the talk good, but he not like, I know to do that. Like he just walk away, which is a pattern of behavior. So he's turned on Channel 7. I think Courtney and Marisol from XTV and myself twice. So that's 4 times in 10 days that he refused to give me an interview. Right? We were fortunate enough, I think Plus and Channel 5 had interviewed him last Thursday in Belmopan, so we were fortunate enough to get a copy of that. But I'm saying that this is a basic duty. You won't have press conferences. No. You had so many when you were leader of the opposition. Or you had right up to the week of elections. You may know about press conference then. Leading up to 2020. So you, John Briceño, know what a press conference is. I have attended dozens of press conferences in your various terms as leader of the opposition. He had 2 stints as leader of the opposition. I have attended, and we have dutifully reported on them. We attended your protests. We do everything to amplify your position as leader of the opposition. But when you get in a government, you don't know what a press conference. You will not deign to have a press conference. Nobody can have a press conference, no minister, because if the boss not do it, how we could do it. So he has created a culture of opposition to the press. I agree there are ministers who will stand up. I just praised Francis Fonseca, Julius Espat, Karim Musa, and there are others, Kevin Bernard, who will stand up and do their thing, Dr. Zabane. Respect to that. But I won't praise you for doing your job. Or I shouldn't. If I just did, I retract my praise. I can't praise you for doing your job.
Yeah.
That's your job.
Okay.
Reporting to the people is your job. Mr. Trump, say what you want. Is the most, he's interviewed every 5 minutes. Every movement he gives the press a comment. Now he understands what he's doing from a political perspective. But why is John Briceño behaving like Joe Biden in the run from the press? That way Joe Biden made it. Now we know he was, they say he had cognitive impairment due to his advanced age. I don't believe John Briceño has. I don't think he has cognitive impairment due to his advanced age. You may argue, you may make other arguments, but I'm just saying, stand and deliver, sir. Stop running away from away. As you see me, you give me. But he has denied us 4 times. What did they say in the Bible?
I don't know.
This very night, before the cock crows 3 times, you shall deny me. That's what Jesus said to, was it to Peter?
It was to Peter.
That's what the Lord said to Peter. The Prime Minister has denied me 4 times. I have heard the cock crowing, but I still can't get no interview. And I did ask the Prime Minister when he last unacceptably walked away from me. I said, but when we do it, he told me, have on juice.
Oh.
Have on juice. Take on juice picnic. This is like flies are weed to the gods.
Wow.
They kill us for their sport. He said, drink on juice. That's what the Prime Minister told me.
Wow.
Ay, 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 man. Ay, ay, ay.
Huh.
But the fact is, he doesn't want to talk about fuel prices. And I don't want him to talk to us like children, say, well, you're going up, you're going up. Let's have a real conversation.
Okay.
The government has a tax take that ranges, that I saw from 2025, between 40 and 45%. There is a perverse incentive for the government when the price goes up, because you have what are called ad valorem taxes. Taxes that the greater the price is, the greater the tax take. So if the price is $10 and the tax take is $5, if it goes up to $20 a gallon, the tax take then becomes $10. So the government gets, there's a perverse incentive for the government to get a windfall. So talk to us like adults. I understand there is a global fuel and oil crisis due to what's happening in Iran.
Yeah.
Nobody's fault. But talk to us like adults. Explain. We have an average tax take of 38 to 45%. How are you going to temper that? What part of the scale are you at right now? How much is the current tax take? Talk to us like adults so that we can see that, okay, the government is at least reducing down to the 38 or 36% tax take, so that even though the price may be going up, the government is not making more than 40% of it as tax take. It has to restrain itself, because the higher the price, the more you get, because you, the government, collect as a percentage. So we want to know, I said that we can't adjust the fuel prices because all this money is budgeted for already. But you are going to collect the money, because the higher the price, the higher the tax take. So talk to us like adults. We want to make sure, or the public has a right to know, that the increasing acquisition cost of fuel at least has a neutral effect on revenue. That it's not a positive for the revenue. That the government is making a windfall. You see what I'm saying? Based on the increasing fuel price.
Yeah.
Talk to us like adults. And that is what we have been hectoring and pressuring the Prime Minister for.
Yeah.
He recently said in an interview that we need to be more prudent on how we use our vehicles. Amen. I agree to that. But, sir, I have been watching prime ministers and reporting on prime ministers since 1994, and I will go back one to Mr. Price. I will give you the exact configuration. Mr. Price had a Land Rover with one driver, the famous Leroy or Leroy. It's a Jacobs, I believe. Then Manuel Esquivel came. When in the 90s, in his second term, when I was working in the media, he had one driver who was a policeman, right? He had one driver. So that was two people. Then Mr. Musa came. I recall he had his driver, Mr. Wagner, and one police officer, sometimes two, right? But so Mr. Musa had two or three persons. Dean Barrow came. He had a driver and a police officer. So that's three. This prime minister got about three vehicles. He rolls with an entourage. He has a posse, the prime minister's posse. So you are telling us about we have to be more prudent on how we use our vehicles. Sir, you are rolling around the posse. If you could restrain, he's the first prime minister to have a full vehicle with multiple police officers. I've seen as many as 4 of them trailing him as a security detail. And when the whole cartel business made it happen with Nitin and everything, he had 2 vehicles. I don't know what's the current configuration, but there's always one. So, but there has to be, because his vehicle is full of Varn and Grazi and the whole posse, Rancho, everybody. I am saying that this is a prime minister who doesn't like alone time. He needs company. He likes having company around.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, all right, you are right. We must watch how we use our vehicles, all of us. But you, sir, have to set the example. You have to say, well, at least I'm going on to one vehicle this week, instead of being the first prime minister to drive around with an entourage and a escort of vehicles, a convoy. A prime ministerial convoy.
Jules, going back to the prime minister, like running away, from your observation, since he's been in term, what do you feel is the reason behind him holding back to give these interviews?
You know, I really think that, I think the prime minister, I've said this, he has a contempt for the press. The prime minister is a prisoner of another political era. He believes that the press should work for public relations.
Okay.
And he has his own TV station, and that's how it works there. So that's an expression of his wish.
Okay.
Right? That's an expression of his intent. The prime minister believes the media should be for propaganda purposes. I believe that's a core belief. I don't think he believes that the press is a critical aspect of a functioning democracy. Let me explain to you. News is a public utility. It's essential for people to live in a democracy. It's as essential as water and electricity and telephone. News is a public utility. That's how important it is that people be informed about health, about safety, about traffic, about the economy. about everything. That is a public utility.
Yeah.
People use it to survive in a democracy. The Prime Minister does not see it that way. The press should be for public relations. That is John Besenio's view. He's a prisoner of the past. He sees the media the way it was in his father's day. That it should be state-controlled.
Oh.
One radio. Right? No, I understand. Times have changed. You have to explain. You have to embrace the multiplicity of everything. And there's nobody more social media friendly than the Prime Minister. But you see what he's doing on social media. He is working as a salesman. I understand small businesses, whatever, that's good. MSMEs, it's a different thing. So I'm not saying that he does not embrace social media. He does, but he embraces it for trivial things. They're important, but they're not matters of state.
Okay.
But that's what he does. John Besenio loves playing the small game. He loves playing the small game. If you ask him to play ball, he has to make you play marble instead. He loves playing because that's what he's good at, and he's very good at that. He's not average, he's very good.
Okay.
And that's just his preference. But we live in a modern world. You can't just be making social media videos all day that you're going to visit XY business and, hi, Johnny. What was that one? Man, that's a classic with the phone place. Hi, Johnny. That's not real life, bro.
Yeah.
That's not real life anyway.
Right. He's now an influencer, Jules, if anything.
Yes, he's an influencer. Like when did we trade our Prime Minister for influence? And that's the kind of retail interaction he prefers. He no want contact. He want.
Maybe he just have make a TikTok video for your Jules.
Well, he did offer to do one for Channel 7. I said I would prefer an interview. But so if I ask him right now, boy, come on Channel 7 and do really, hi, Johnny. He not do that one. Anyway, moving on.
Jules, now let's talk about the border disruption.
Yeah, shucks, I didn't have that on my list. The border disruption is very serious, and that's one of the things the Prime Minister should be talking about. Importers are very concerned. Let's understand what's happening. That cargo trucks or importers, these trucks that bring goods from Mexico are not being allowed to cross the Mexican side of the border because of the cartel. The cartel have to make our money when they're bringing across, and there was someone in charge of it before, and he met an unfortunate demise 2 weeks ago. He and his sideman met an unfortunate demise, not in an accident. They were terminated from the earth. So there's a new sheriff in town, so to speak, on the Mexican side. And as I understand it, certain requirements are being made of the trucks, the owners of the trucks, the transporters who bring goods across to Belize. And let us understand, these are not just dry goods. Many vegetables, forgive me, and other imports come across. And those, if it's not cleared up by today, there is a possibility that it won't be cleared up until after Easter. If we do not get, there will be shortages in Belize. Now the government is powerless to influence this. This is Mexican business. But it has very serious implications for importers in Belize. And we all just have to wait and see. But I think the government has to start explaining what's happening. Again, it's happening in the dark world, where it's not like you could say, well, we spoke to XYZ person.
Yeah.
The fact is, right, we have to understand there's a lot of cartel activity around Belize's borders because of the Corozal-free zone, which moves dry goods and tobacco, smuggles it, only for decades, into Mexico. It's a long-established practice. And this trade is controlled. The permission to smuggle is controlled by the cartels. So And now, even so that's the informal trade, but the formal trade, you have to give something, right? It's formalized. When you leave Texas, when you're bringing down a vehicle and you leave Texas, you have to pay an amount there that gives you a sticker that says that the cartel approves this vehicle to come through.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't say that, but that's the
you know,
communication
like
it gives. When the cartels see, they know you've already paid
Yep.
at the border from Texas into Mexico. It's that formalized. So, this will have to be worked out, but there could be shortages in Belize. Importers could lose some of their imports that are highly perishable. They could lose them because they're stuck in Mexico right now.
And isn't there a way that we could bring things through the sea back by some chance? Or it's
We just don't have the logistics for it. It would increase the cost so much, right? We don't have the logistics established. So that is not a practical workaround, right? So importers are very jumpy right now.
And so
Yeah.
on the same note of free zone and everything that's taking place, and just in general, let's look at the contraband fuel and what implications that can come with that.
Yeah, so the contraband fuel, finally someone was charged on Friday, probably almost 3 weeks after that. The vessel, Victor, we have the vessel, first came into Belize. The Humilde Viajero first came into Belize. They did not declare their cargo, which was 55,000, which is 55,000 gallons of diesel. That really is a quite small amount. But let us understand what's happening. This is, I believe, contraband fuel that was going to come to a very big fuel supplier in Belize. We have to understand what's happening here. I don't think this is the first time. I think contraband fuel, or let's say dark fuel, let's use that word, because I can't prove that it's contraband. Dark fuel has been coming into Belize through the Bullet Tree area, through various areas for a long time. This is a business model. Why is it a business model? You see, anything that involves contraband involves cash, right? Once you're selling things illicitly across the border, these are cash purchases.
Can't have any traces. Yep.
We have to understand Belizean society, the Belizean economy is afloat on dark money. It's afloat on dark money. And there are people, various levels of our society, highest level, middle level, low level, but highest level is the big one, that have more cash than they can bank, more cash than they can spend, because they're dealing in illicit trade. And the only way you pay for illicit trade is in cash. So there are big people in business with dark money. And that fuels the trade in dark fuel, because you pay for it in a cash. You see, most of us can't relate to this, but there is an urgency for people with a lot of cash, with dark cash, dark money, to spend it. They have to spend it. They can't bank it. It's stocking up in their businesses or wherever, in their safes. They have to spend it. That means they have to invest. So they invest in construction, right? They invest in, they buy many things that can make money. So there is now a new one I've heard of. It's called pre-financing. They invest in civil works for the government, road building. Pre-financing. Let me explain to you what pre-financing. The law requires that you follow a competitive bidding process, where bids are put out, you compete, and the best bid wins. But if you pre-finance, and I'll explain what that term means, you don't have to deal with a competitive bid. What you tell the government is, I'm going to pave all of that road for you. I will finance it up front. Then you owe me, and you pay me back. For the person with a lot of cash, It gives them the opportunity. All the workmen get paid in a cash. The cement truck get paid in a cash. Everybody gets paid in cash. So it gives people with a lot of cash an opportunity to get rid of their cash, convert it into civil works in this case.
Right.
The government now owes them. They're in a perfect position. Because when the government owes you, the government is going to pay it. Government is good for it. So the government owes you. You did not have to qualify. You never had to put in bid. You just had to find the cash and you pre-finance it. And this is happening all over the place. This is a new WAP. This is a new hustle. Pre-finance, right? So all these things you pay for. Then the government owes you, and nobody's the wiser. All the government has is a bill. And eventually they will pay. And it's happening at multiple levels, and I believe big people know about it, and I believe at the highest levels of the Ministry of Finance, they understand how this thing works. And I know I'd heard a minister racked up some big debts. Not personal debts, state debts. Nobody racks up personal debts if you're in government. State debts. And, it was quite a thing to, they had to find out all the money to pay this contractor who had pre-financed all these things. So we're keeping an eye on that. But there's a lot of dark money floating this society. More than ever.
Jules, now let's move on to our next topic.
Yes, quickly.
Why is there no talk on the SpeedNet acquisition?
What happened?
When they put a pause, they said that there would be this massive public consultation. There's nothing happening. There is no public consultation that I've been apprised of, led by BTL. I believe the chairman, reputationally, is burnt to a crisp. So he might not be the perfect person to lead that, but there's been no talk about this. When are the public consultations going to start? And, first of all, we have to face the fact that es contra la ley. It's against the law. Let us understand, this is what the former chairman of PUC has told us and proven to us with the law many times, that you have to change the law. The Telecommunications Act makes it clear that it's for competition.
Okay.
That you have to have a competition. And the chairman of the PUC, the former chairman, has also made it very clear that Belize has undertaken international treaties to ensure that there's competition. Why? Because that's in the public interest, right? Monopolies are not in the public interest. So that's why it exists in the law. That's why it exists in treaties that we have signed on to, right? There are various international and domestic undertakings and the domestic law. It's in the Treaty of Chaguaramas for the for the Caribbean community. So I'm just saying, we have to understand that there's a fundamental hurdle to be crossed, right? That everybody is pretending doesn't exist, that the law requires competition. Second, the government is under intense pressure. I believe the Prime Minister is under intense pressure because his family is a shareholder in SpeedNet. Michael Ashcroft, or the Ashcroft Alliance, whichever one of the many incarnations, is the other shareholder, right? 18% to 82%. And I believe Mr. Ashcroft, I don't believe, I'm fairly certain, he wants this to go through urgently. He wants to get rid of this asset. And if it does not happen, my belief is that SpeedNet will be used to ram the BTL battleship. You don't want to play? You don't want to acquire us? Well, let us have a competitive war. Now, this comes at a time when the PUC just strapped all of BTL's rates, right?
That is true. For 2 years.
But I believe that if this does not happen, there will be many battles ahead with SpeedNet. I believe that this has been communicated to the Prime Minister that SpeedNet, we're in a race to the bottom right now. That's what BTL has been saying. We're in a race to the bottom. That's where rates are. Make we go below the bottom. See if you could follow we. SpeedNet is a much smaller, more nimble company. And I believe that the Ashcroft Alliance is prepared to take what they call in business a loss leader. Make we go below the bottom. Let's see who can breathe at 200 feet below the threshold for survivability. So it's tough days ahead. It's tough days ahead. But I really think the acquisition is on the ropes because I haven't seen the public consultation start. I haven't seen anything being done to reanimate it. I think it just became too politically hot for the Prime Minister. I think the Deputy Prime Minister made it even more difficult. And so I think that the government is in a tough spot with that. And BTL is in a tough spot because it'll be rough. It'll be very rough competing at something that is below the bottom. But I want to bring up something. The good, the Prime Minister loves talking about, he and the BTL chairman, fiduciary duty. That, the directors have a fiduciary duty.
Yeah.
Right? And that the fiduciary duty comes first. The fiduciary duty to BTL, which is to make sure you act in a diligent and solely dedicated way to maximize the profits of BTL. That's what a member of the board of directors should do. But that raises a question because, the Prime Minister, one of his favorite choices, and I think we have the picture of Mr. Rolando Santos. How is it that he's a commissioner of the PUC, but a member of BTL board? They actually use the same picture. How can you be on both the regulator, BL board, that's Mr. Rolando. He's an engineer, highly qualified person. I believe he probably worked at BL at some point. I don't think he's a bad choice for the BL board. I make no imputation against him. But you have the other picture of him at the PUC as well. How can you be on the regulator for the electricity sector? Mr. Rolando Santos, commissioner, I picked that last night from the PUC website. They take the same picture and they use it for the BL. They just stretch it out and crop it. I'm saying that how can you be both the regulator and the person on the board with the fiduciary duty to ensure BL's profits maximize when the regulator is the one to make sure that the profits are not maximized against the public interest, that they operate within a just and reasonable rate of return on investment? How can that be? How can you have both? But that's the Prime Minister. That's the Prime Minister's doing. How can you be on both the regulator and the regulated? Where's the conflict? How do you navigate that? But the wisdom of the Prime Minister, I haven't been able to ask him about
Would that be
it.
classified as a conflict of interest?
Manifest. It would appear to me a manifest conflict of interest. But the Prime Minister recently, in speaking to the UB students, and big up to them, their questions were great. When he addressed the lecture at the UB on Wednesday, their questions were great. The Prime Minister again bring up, oh my, Jules Vasquez pa. And when I buy the cable company from him, and we paid $350,000, and we never get a pencil. All we got were the subscribers. This is a continued false analogy. I have reviewed, because I made notes at the time, because Mr. Briceño reached out to me. He was then leader of the opposition, reached out to me, and that's how he got to my father. We have, and I think have been and continue to be friends. Mr. Briceño. So he reached out to me, and I made the initial link. let us be clear. This 350,000 in the talk about, and that, oh, we just get the subscribers, and that was all good, because he's using it as a false analogy to compare to the BTL acquisition. He doesn't buy the cash flow. He doesn't buy the subscribers. Mr. Briceño made to buy the license. That's what he wanted. He wanted to park the license. Let me explain. There was a policy at the Belize Broadcasting Authority that every cable provider has to have a competitor. Every tongue, you have to have competition.
Yeah.
In the interest of the consumer. There was an unfriendly government in, and Mr. Briceño chose, I should say the Centaur Group chose to purchase the competition. What do you do when you purchase it? The same Mr. Ned Vasquez, who he loves to defame and all these things, then say, we can buy it, but left the company in the name which exists, because they can't transfer it. Because it would be manifestly illegal. So you buy the competition and you park the license. That the way they pay for. So he's boasting, we never get a pencil fit, or no get a license. That was the value that Mr. Briceño was investing in. I don't want to go into these things, but he just brought it up at UB again. He brings it up whenever Jules Vasquez, man, done with that, no?
Wow.
But so to be very clear, that is the premium they paid. It was a premium for the license. That is why they paid what they paid. They couldn't care a hoot about the few subscribers and the 2 employees that company had. Right? They got those fine. But what they wanted was to protect themselves, because at that time there was very difficult competition in the cable sector, and they wanted to avoid one of the big cable companies coming in to compete with them.
Oh.
They did this throughout the North. They gobbled up so many companies. Respect to them, they know if to do their business, etc., etc., etc. But let us be clear. They never made a bite for no 2 pencil. They made a bite for get a license to park the license, which is not even a consideration in the BTL issue, because BTL has its own license, whatever. So I'm just saying, please stop continue if you wish, but the analogy is totally false. But the Prime Minister seems to like to use it. I think he likes my name. And I encourage you to do so, brother. No royalties. Anyway, moving on. Let's go, guys. This is ridiculously long.
Yeah.
Police promotions.
Oh, man. Okay, quickly. This is the last one. We'll have to drop the very last one. This is the last one.
The last one, yeah.
Okay, so, and then I think we have a video of the police promotion list. I cast no aspersion on these various people who are being called up for promotion. Just go through the list quickly. Many of them are worthy of promotion. Could we show it, guys? Yeah, these folks are worthy of promotion. No disparagement against them. These are persons coming up for promotional interviews, the various dates. Many on the list are persons who are complicit in the abduction, complicit or implicit. I'm sorry. Complicit or involved in the abduction of Joseph Budna. The cover-up continues, and they have turned it into a higher level of criminality by rewarding. Mr. Rosado saw the video that I saw. He knows who the officers are, and Mr. Flowers isn't on the promotion list. But he knows who the other officers are.
Okay.
He knows who they are in that video. And at least one of them is on that list for promotion. At least one of the other officers on that is on that list for promotion. Other officers who were indirectly involved are on that list for promotion. No, I'm not. What concerns me is that if promotions are being used to reward persons for being involved in a criminal conspiracy, we have crossed a dangerous threshold of using promotions as a reward for involvement in criminality. In the police department, I am concerned that the promotions are being given to persons who do not necessarily qualify, but were a part of the thing.
It's a hush.
So, you know, compound Sunup yet, and Mr. Rosado saying going compound Sunup, the commissioner, you know, come yet, and I don't consider him to be a liar, man. We've been following up with him, but he not come yet. He said he would, but he not come yet. But my point is that I am concerned about the promotions list, And if it is being used to reward and silence, because that's what they have done. There are people who know the truth. There are police officers who know the truth, who are not a part of the original criminal conspiracy, but have been pulled into the criminal conspiracy. They have been made to sign false statements. They have been pressured.
Wow.
Investigators are also on that promotion list. At least one investigator I see on that promotion list who was involved in, I believe, the circulation of statements that signed this statement. I believe the criminal conspiracy, the criminal cover-up of the Joseph Budner abduction continues, and there will never be answers for it because there is knowledge of it at high levels of the police department and at high levels of the government. That is based on everything I know. That is the factual truth. And I believe the Commissioner of Police knows it, and I believe the Prime Minister knows it. And that's why there will never be. I fear the DPP's case, though she sought earnestly, and I hope she succeeds, the DPP needs someone to tell the truth. And they have made sure no one is going to tell the truth by rewarding them with promotions. Stay on side, or you're going to end up the PG. You're going to end up the San Benito Poete, they do a substation. Stay on side and you will get a promotion. It is very dangerous and frightening to use the promotion mechanism as a means of rewarding silence, complicit silence, or active criminality. I'll end with that. EIA consultation coming up this week, Wednesday, for the Port of Belize project. That's going to be really interesting, the cruise project, because I think Mr. Gagan dropped some bombs for people at the public consultation. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. We're looking forward to it. We'll be there. Well. That's going to be a big one.
Okay.
So we have come to the ending.
Wow, that was way too
Monday
long.
Morning beef. Very long, lengthy.
Long.
We have a thing for do. We do have a beautiful sunrise for you guys, so we're gonna cue that in. You okay?
I'm okay.
Yeah, you
Yeah, these are just regular old people business.
And this is from Biscayne.
This is from Biscayne Village.
Beautiful.
Yes, this is from Mr. Ball Farm in Biscayne Village, submitted by Elise. Thank you so much, Elise, for this beautiful submission. We truly appreciate it. We feel like we did our farm life with you. And so with that, it's giving everything it needs to give. So with that, guys, we're going to go to our first commercial break, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Imagine, a ref calls a technical on LeBron, ejects him, then walks to the bench, puts on a jersey, and checks into the game to take LeBron's place. WTH? That's what happened at the central bank. First, Kareem Michael was a deputy governor for financial supervision, basically the referee for the banks. And while he was in charge of that department, Choice Banks' license was cancelled. Not too long after, Mr. Michael resigned from the central bank and went as a paid private contractor to run the shutdown of the same Choice Bank. When he was finished, he simply walked right back into his old job at the central bank. Who does that? An arrogant Belizean public servant who who knows all and thinks he is too big for his judgment to be questioned by anyone.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
Imagine, a ref calls a technical on LeBron, ejects him, then walks to the bench, puts on a jersey, and checks into the game to take LeBron's place. WTH? That's what happened at the central bank. First, Kareem Michael was a deputy governor for financial supervision, basically the referee for the banks. And while he was in charge of that department, Choice Banks' license was cancelled. Not too long after, Mr. Michael resigned from the central bank and went as a paid private contractor to run the shutdown of the same Choice Bank. When he was finished, he simply walked right back into his old job at the central bank. Who does that? An arrogant Belizean public servant who knows all and thinks he is too big for his judgment to be questioned by anyone.
You're up.
These charter mints aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023 in the...
Good evening.
Good evening, I'm Cherie Halsell,
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm the bureaucrat.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sunup on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your Nation Station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Muy buenos dias, Sunup on 7 family. Welcome back to your Monday episode. Just before the commercial break, we had a great conversation with Jules on the Monday morning beef. Let us know what are your thoughts about it, but definitely the conversation with him sets us the tone for the week and what you can expect on the news. Stay tuned with that. Will there be a beef next week? I don't know. Next week is like Lent week, right? So I'm not sure if there will. Maybe he will bring fish. I'm not sure. But what we're jumping into this topic is BWS is celebrating their 25 years of service in Belize. And today we're gonna find out some very, very interesting things. For one, we're gonna do their reveal of their new logo, their theme for this year. What activities can you expect as we celebrate their 25 years of service? Joining us on our couch to give us some details, we have Karina Montejo, Corporate Communications Manager. Ms. Karina, good morning.
Hi, morning.
How is your energy this Monday from 1 to 10?
Thank you for having me. We're very excited to be celebrating 25 years of service to Belize. So we're here, like you said, to reveal this anniversary logo.
All right, we're going to get to that in a bit. We're with you as well, Mr. Hayden Brown, Chief Human Resources Officer. Mr. Brown, good morning. How do you feel about, doing the honors of doing the reveal of your logo commemorating 25 years of service?
Good morning, Belize. Huge honor.
It's a huge honor.
Been with the company for over 24 years and having this honor bestowed on me is definitely one I feel very elated about. So.
Did you ever see yourself as being that person, when you started working at BWS and here you are now doing the honors?
No. Never saw that coming, but I'm a trooper, and here I am today. So.
Here you are today.
So that's a great honor, and we're so excited for the reveal shortly. Ren?
Yeah, I feel like I want to start with the reveal just to kind of rip off the Band-Aid
right.
and have it showcased for a while, so when we're having the conversations, people can see it.
I can see that. Yeah.
Don't you think? I think to really make sure people engulf it and take it all in.
All right. So I hope our viewers are ready because we're doing the big reveal of the 25.
So, yeah, so, Mr. Brown.
My honor.
Your honor. Ooh. That means I have to change all the shirts and everything now, too. Wow.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.
I love it. All right.
Okay. Look at that. I love how he wears it like a cape now. Wow.
Celebrating 25 years. 2001 to 2026. Karina, can you give us some details as to what was the inspiration behind this logo? Guide us through it, please.
Yes, so we're actually celebrating under the theme A Legacy of Service Excellence today, innovating for the future, 25 years of excellence.
Wow.
And basically the significance is to remind us where we came from, what we're doing today, and preparing for the future in regards to innovating and improving service to Belize and the communities that we serve. So now when it comes to the design, water has to be central as it's a mandate for us to provide water. Obviously, we had to have the 25 in bold to remind us that, okay, it's been 25 years. That's a very big milestone for us. And then to highlight it, we had to have the original BWS incorporated in it because, it is a reminder to us that behind this BWS company, there's always a team of professionals guiding us. And we've come so far from 2001 to 2026. And it's a very big milestone for us. So.
I really like it, though. I have to say, it has this refreshing look, if that makes sense. I don't know how to describe that.
Yes.
And for the logo, we got was it students or designed it? Who designed the logo?
So it was done in-house. It was a collaboration between the different departments. Everybody gave their input and the team as well. We actually had a team competition in-house, and that is how the team was actually selected. So for this 25th anniversary, we wanted to incorporate staff as much as possible. So the team as well as the design for the logo was both done in-house.
I love that.
Karina, could you remind us of the theme for this year's?
Yes, so the theme is A Legacy of Service, Excellence Today, Innovating for the Future, 25 years of excellence.
I love it. Mr. Brown, I see you shaking your head as Karina's reading this theme as you celebrate your 25 years of service to Belize. What are your thoughts as regards to having the honors of revealing the theme to commemorate 25 years of service, but also hearing the theme? Given that you said you have over 24 years of working at BWS,
Yeah, so there's a lot, goosebumps. There's a lot that goes through, my mind historically, knowing where we have come from. For example, system-wise, I could recall coming to BWS and we were doing, for billing processes, we were doing manual cards. So people would come in and make their payments and we have our customer service representatives posting on manual cards. That was back then.
It was real back then.
Yes. And since then, we have changed 2 systems, but today our system is one of, a high level of efficiency. The system can now allow our team to be able to not only do billing, but we have a GPS system. So many systems that have come on board technologically, right? Where we can have the location, exact location of that meter. When I came on board, I recall all these things because you have like meters under somebody's step, right? And a meter reader would be the ideal person when even the guys who install the meter would forget because they could install a meter and don't go back there for 20 years. But the meter reader who goes there every month knows exactly where to find that meter. So when the guys need to go and do servicing on a meter, they would have to go and check with the meter reader. Now with the GPS system, we know exactly that location, and that's tied into the billing system. Work orders are now sent out electronically. All these things were all manual stuff way back when. And so work orders are sent out through the electronic system. The guys can look on their hand devices and pick up, okay, we need to go to 44 George Street, go there, do whatever they need to do, or wherever across the city, across the country. And so in every district, town, and city where we do our services, all our meters are tagged or lines. And so even for distribution purposes, all these things help with us responding to leaks and being able to ascertain exactly where our assets are. And so on that side of things, technology-wise, we have grown leaps and bounds.
Significantly.
And we continue to do so. Another thing is financially, I could recall when I joined BWS, one of the first things, my head being I used to be in accounting in my past employment before BWS, so I looked at the bottom line, seeing that we were operating in the red. Since then, BWS has mastered tremendously the efficiency. Efficiencies, so many leading indicators or KPIs are there for public domain. In the public domain, we do annual audits, and so those information are there for you to verify if you want to check. But in terms of our indicators, one of the greatest thing we have achieved back days, our non-revenue water was around 60% across the country. What does that mean?
Well, what does that mean?
So we're talking about water that has been processed. And the water that has been processed, now good for consumption, we're losing 60% of what we've produced. That's a huge financial loss. And also resource-wise, a huge loss. And so today we're down at 23 in the 20 percentile. And so significant achievement. It's one of the things across the Caribbean, and even comparative to some of the first world countries, we're really up there in terms of not only in Caribbean, but Central America, we're one of the leading countries in terms of our non-revenue water and how we go about our business. Our response time is, our downtime is 99.9 percentile. Those are, again, that means that you are out of water, again, something from back then. Remember when we used to have dripping faucets or no water, rationing in Belize City and some of the other towns and cities would remember these things where, we were not able to provide services as efficiently as we do now. I know every time you turn that faucet, you want to see water coming through there.
Yes.
And so as a company, we have grown through the years on our services. We have added on a lot of add-on services. Some of them customers complain, some of them customers love. The same thing we have added on, like read your own meter. Some people, why do I have to read my own meter? It helps the process because sometimes your meter is behind a fence and you have dogs, etc.
Yeah.
Or meter readers are not illegal people. They're legally operating within our society, and so they can't jump your fence. That's not something we encourage at no level, and so we can't reach a meter. So how do we access it? Because people are after work, you can't access meter depending on the timing the meter reader reaches your home. And so we encourage read your own meter. People can then read their meter, send it in, we trust you, and then over time, because there's a rotation in the reading, eventually a weekend will come when you're home and meter reader can meet up with you. And so they do the differences between the reading, the actual reading and so on. So those are things that we have grown and really add-on service, like I said, a lot of other things, sending out SMS messages, I mean, on bills, on if we're going to, have water outages, etc.
That's my favorite one.
All those things are real add-ons to help that interaction with our customers.
Thank you so much, Mr. Brown, for sharing from your insight as to like being 24 years in the service. How has it grown? What have been some of the changes that have come around in BWS? Karina, is there anything that you feel is important for you to add to, like, what are some of the changes been for BWS as it regards to the years of service?
So yes, well, Mr. Brown, he actually encapsulated everything that needed to be said in regards to the history.
Very well.
So yeah.
He did a good. He's been there for almost the entire period. So
I'm a newbie compared to
if there's anybody that's perfect for the job to be able to tell us the history, it would definitely be Mr. Brown.
There's a lot more I can tell. Let me just put in one more quick.
Tell me.
We have been a part of the Caribbean Water and Wastewater Association for some time, and for like about the last 3 to 4 years, we have successfully won what we call the best tasting water competition in the Caribbean. And so this is a drinking water now. This is not bottled water. This is water that comes from your tap, that every country put it in a bottle, and we take it to the conference every year. There's an annual conference. Also, I wanted to quickly mention that our executive chairman now sits at the top of that board for the Caribbean Water and Wastewater. He's the chairman, incoming chairman. We have an outgoing, and he's the incoming. And so we also had the privilege of hosting for the first time last year the Caribbean Water and Wastewater Association conference here in Belize. And so those are a major milestone from where we have come to where we are today.
So reflecting on the many changes that have come throughout the years of BWS providing services, how do you feel people have adapted to those changes? And if you were to put a wish list and see, like, I would like this to see happen in the years to come to BWS, what would that one thing be for you?
I believe that quite a bit has been done by BWS, and I don't know that, because you would see a lot of the negatives on the Facebook, etc. But there's so many things that BWS have done.
Okay.
I mean, financially, we've invested millions of dollars in improving services and upgrading our assets. That is something that we will continue to do into the future, to improve and elevate our services. And I believe that seriously, before I joined BWS, John Public, I had no appreciation, none. I'm being honest, no appreciation for this. But when I joined and I was intricately involved, at that time people say, oh, you work there, what else do you expect? But it's being honest. I mean, I see the work that these people put in, and I know, when we're asleep, these guys are doing step tests in the night to ensure that a leak that is bothersome to us is repaired. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, these guys are out there testing to see where they can find. Because, in the quiet and the stillness of the night, you can actually hear that water because the pipes are below ground. And so they're in that position to locate these things. I wouldn't say easier, but more efficiently, right? And so what I would like really is for the Belizean people to really take a step back and have a greater appreciation for that product named water. Honestly, we take it for granted, and we don't know how much we're blessed in terms of not the rain we're talking about now. It's that service that you're being provided. Trust me, Belize, we're blessed. Don't take it for granted and don't waste water. People think we want bills to just be high and have high bills. No, on the contrary, we want people to conserve and take that resource and use it as precious as it is, because it's life. It's really about life. We want them to really take care of our water resources, and even all that throwing of garbage and things into the rivers, it doesn't help us. And when I say us, I'm talking about us as a people. We need to take care of our water resources. People think we have water forever.
No.
There are things we're finding out, and like I told you guys, as coming to BWS, I learn a lot. Trust me, there's a lot I learned. Would you imagine, like in any northern, like in Orange Walk, you would find salt in the water? See how far inland that is? These are the kind of things that develops, and over time, when you're using, because we use well system there, you'll find these things out. Right? And so all these things threaten and creates a little challenge, a little bit more challenge for the company to provide that, resource to us. But at the end of the day, that's our duty and responsibility.
You're doing the work, and it shows 25 years of service. We will actually be talking about some of the projects that they have done, also and activities to look forward to. So we're going to go on a quick commercial break, but when we are back, we dive into more amazing talk with BWS about what's taking place at projects and activities for 25 years.
Yeah, well, thank you, Mr. Brown, for that reflection. Thank you so much. So with that, we're going to go into our commercial break. We're going to continue more on the 25 years of service of BWS.
Imagine, a ref calls a technical on LeBron, ejects him, then walks to the bench, puts on a jersey, and checks into the game to take LeBron's place. WTH? That's what happened at the central bank. First, Kareem Michael was a deputy governor for financial supervision, basically the referee for the banks. And while he was in charge of that department, Choice Banks' license was cancelled. Not too long after, Mr. Michael resigned from the central bank and went as a paid private contractor to run the shutdown of the same Choice Bank. When he was finished, he simply walked right back into his old job at the central bank. Who does that? An arrogant Belizean public servant who knows all and thinks he's too big for his judgment to be questioned by anyone.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
These charter means aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Shirley Halsell,
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craft.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Look here, your kitchen light there and you never in the kitchen.
But I'm going back in there right now.
And the coffee maker?
Just to try keep my coffee warm for later.
Where do you know?
I'll try to think about what to eat.
You know the more you open or close the fridge, it takes longer for the food cool.
Uh-huh.
For a hot day like today, it burns more energy. You charge your phone right now?
No.
Plug it out then. You really only wash 2 Lee socks and 1 Lee shirt? You don't know what small load burn the same amount of electricity as large loads?
But this is my favorite shirt.
You have to be more energy efficient. Use large loads. This AC, they blow hard. You know, if you keep the temperature at 25 degrees Celsius or higher, you burn less energy and you also keep the place cool. And for a nice day like today, turn off the AC, open up the house and make some fresh breeze come in.
You know what? I think I get it now. As consumers, we need to be more energy efficient and practice energy conservation.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Good morning, beautiful Sunup on 7 family. Welcome back to your Monday episode. We continue on the conversation to celebrate BWS's 25th year of service to Belize. And today we're going to talk about what are some of the projects they're currently undertaking and how are they going to celebrate their 25 years in Belize. So we continue the conversation with Karina Montejo, Mr. Hayden Brown, and now we invite also Ervin Flores to join us on couch. Good morning, Ervin. How are you doing today?
Yes, good morning. I'm fine. Thank you for having me.
How do you feel about the 25 years of service that you're celebrating at BWS?
Yeah, similarly to Mr. Brown, we're very excited. It's a packed week with a lot of activities, a lot of events for customers and for staff alike. So we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah. And how do you feel as somebody like involved in the staff, seeing how BWS has grown and, what is there to come? How does that make you feel?
Yeah, so I've been with the company a little over 10 years,
Okay.
so I've witnessed, a lot of growth, both in, the capacity of the staff and also in increasing the coverage, and service to customers countrywide. So I'm really glad to be part of a team, that, is bringing this precious resource to every household as much as we can in the entire country. So it gives you a sense of pride, So yeah, I'm really happy to be celebrating and to be here to celebrate this milestone.
And embrace the new logo and everything that comes with it. You guys have a great theme, everything in-house, which makes it more meaningful.
Right.
And we know that with working with those 10 years, there's a lot of projects that have been taking place. Talk to us a little bit about all the work that's been done or maybe future work that's supposed to be done when it comes to BWS.
Yeah, so BWS continuously works on several projects throughout the year. Now, in the past few years, we've worked on a lot of projects to increase access to water countrywide. So in the past few years, we've installed about 70 miles of new water main, and we've connected up to about 7,000 households. And this is just within the past few years now what we've worked on. Looking ahead, the plan is to continue that process, to continue increasing that access in the underserved areas, what we would call, the peri-urban areas, which are those communities very close to the municipalities that we serve. Which is, again, not to be confused with the rural communities, now, which unfortunately don't fall within our service areas.
Okay.
The rural communities, they're mostly served by boards. They have water boards, and those are actually supervised by the Ministry of Rural Transformation. So that's a little bit different from what we serve. But yeah, the plan is to continue that access by installing additional water mains, having new connections. One of the things that we're also doing and that we've worked on actually is to improve or strengthen our water system redundancies and security. So what that means is that every time that there is an emergency, a power outage, that water is still running, that we have that continuity of service, like what Mr. Brown was referring to. And so what we're doing now, going into the future, is to have or build more climate resiliency, which is a hot topic these days,
That is
right?
true, yeah.
Ensuring that our systems are capable of operating and withstanding these climate hazards that are coming about. Also, Mr. Brown, he was also talking about improving operational efficiencies, which is something that we've been working on over the past few years, innovating, introducing smart technology to try to keep up to date, to try to improve service and improve continuity, all that kind of thing. Also, another big topic in terms of projects is that we've tried to improve our environmental stewardship. And this is specifically tied to our wastewater services. A lot of people forget that we also collect wastewater and we treat wastewater. And so there are a lot of projects in the pipeline for us to install new collection systems, to install new treatment systems. So this is something that we're really big on in trying to improve the environment and also to improve public health. So those two, they go hand in hand. So a lot of projects in the pipeline that we worked on, that we're planning, that we're hoping to roll out very soon.
Okay.
I think we've had a recent approval of about $130 million in capital investments that we want to roll out within the next 5 years. So all of these themes that I touched on are projects that we will be working on very soon.
Very well. So, like, out of all the projects that you've worked on, Ervin, is there anyone that you're proud of that
Or
you'd
most
like
passionate
to
about?
talk about today?
Yeah. So one of or actually it's more of a program. So we have a current program with the IDB. So so a lot of our projects, they're either funded by BWS's revenue, by partnerships with government, or by partnerships with these development banks. So one of the projects or programs that we're working on is a water supply and modernization program, where we're improving operational efficiencies by working on projects, for instance, like a disinfection project that we've currently piloted in Kikaker. So, just to be clear, our water is 100% disinfected. That is what makes it potable. But we've actually piloted a new technology out in that island that improves the taste and odor of the water. So it makes it more appealing, for residents to actually consume the water directly from their tap, as opposed to have to purchase your 5-gallon water, your purified water, what they call, no? So that is a project that we've successfully rolled out in Kikaker, and we are planning to scale that up, roll it out to the entire country this year. Right?
Nice.
So that's a project that we're currently working on.
Kikaker was like the pilot project.
That was the pilot, yeah.
And then
then now we're rolling it out countrywide.
Wow, that's exciting. So we can confidently say that people can get
Oh, yeah,
water from the
for
tap
sure.
and drink it, and they'll be
Consume it, yeah.
Very
Exactly.
good.
It's a great day and age right there. And since we're on the celebration of great things happening, things rolling out, I'd love to bring in Karina into this conversation to talk a little bit about just what are some of the activities that are being planned for the public to enjoy and to celebrate 25 years of service with Budapest.
Right. So, of course, we wanted to include both staff and the customers and the general and the public in general. So we have a whole week of activities, actually, but I'll just be speaking on the ones that are accessible to the public.
Yeah. Yes.
And starting today, we're having a customer appreciation countrywide. So customers, when they go pay their bill, or we're welcoming them actually to go and see how we've decorated the office. They could view the anniversary logo and then also get a little treat as our token of appreciation. So that is today. Tomorrow, we're having a wellness fair. So we believe in having healthy communities. So we are encouraging the customers to come on in at the headquarters here in Belize City. We'll be having a wellness fair, and you can do different checkups, such as the blood testing. We have malaria screening, just some to name a few. On Wednesday is a very exciting one, and probably my favorite. we'll be having a 25th anniversary exhibition.
Oh.
So here, where Mr. Brown was saying that we want customers to appreciate more of how water is distributed and how it's treated. So we'll have all our departments on display speaking on the work that they do and how all of us come together as a collective, you know. So to make it even more interesting, we have collaborated with different small business vendors. So they will be out there as well displaying the different services. So you can come and learn and have a treat or two. And this will be on Wednesday, like I mentioned, from 9 to 3 p.m., 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Where's it going to take place?
At the headquarters here in Belize City.
Well. Okay.
So we have that anniversary exhibition. On that same day as well, we're giving back to the community through MOU. BWS will be signing an MOU in collaboration with Stella Maris and the Ministry of Education. And this is to adopt a room at Stella Maris. You know, currently Stella Maris is under some renovation. So BWS has decided to adopt a room, and it will be a sensory room for these kids. So BWS will be equipping the room, designing it, and as well it will be a staff collaboration. So we will also have our staff helping in assisting to set up this room. Then on Thursday, March 26th, there will be the inauguration of not only one, but two projects that have been completed in Orange Walk. So this will be a generator facilities in Petville and a 500,000 gallon tank on Arthur Street. And both of them are in Orange Walk. So we're also increasing the capacity to serve in that community.
Very well, okay.
And that would be the major highlights for the week for us, right?
Okay.
And can people check out the Facebook page to see all of this information, where they can be able to go, how they can tune in, times and everything?
Right. So all of this is posted on our Facebook. And I actually forgot to mention that we're giving away 25 prizes to commemorate the 25 years of service. So I'd like to mention that every day on our Facebook page at 3 p.m., we will go live to give away 5 prizes. So starting today, actually, at 3 p.m. live on our official BWS Facebook page, we'll be doing that giveaway. So from today up until Friday, we will be doing 5 giveaways. And the big prize is actually 25 months free water.
What?
Okay.
So customers can look forward to that. That will be done on Friday.
On Friday.
So
how do they get to participate in this?
Kevin, ready?
So it's very simple. You just need to log in, tune into the live, and look out for the questions.
Okay, so the live questions.
So yes, so we'll just be asking a couple questions, and I hope you guys listen carefully because some of them are history questions that Mr. Brown was talking about. So it's very easy. So that is our big prize on Friday.
Well, thank you so much for sharing the list of activities that BWS will be undertaking this week to celebrate your 25 years. Once more, congratulations to you and your company and your staff for the great work, and again, the 25 years of service. As we're wrapping up on this conversation, I would like to give you the opportunity to reach out to your staff or to your clients, to your customers, and any word that you would like to share with them as we, celebrate 25 years and as we wrap up this conversation. Erwin?
Yeah, well, from my end, just thank you for having us and for celebrating this milestone with us. 25 years is a long journey, and also we've all witnessed the growth together. So the hope is that we continue that journey for another 25 years. So yeah, thanks for having us.
Very well.
And likewise, thank you for having us. I'd just like to say that 25 years is a big milestone, and every drop of water is a commitment. We want to look at this.
Every drop of water is a commitment. Wow.
We want to look at this 25th anniversary not only as looking back at where we started, but also looking to the future for innovating and improving and for the generations to come.
I like that. That should be a slogan,
That
right?
literally is,
Every drop
yeah.
of water is a commitment.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love that.
Yeah,
And
should trademark that, you know.
again, highlighting the beautiful new logo created in-house with the amazing staff from BWS, their theme and everything. Guys, check out their Facebook page. More importantly, check out at 3 p.m. from Monday to Friday this week for their giveaways. Friday is the big giveaway for 24 months of free
25.
25. Oh, 25.
Yes,
My
the
bad.
25 years, Ren.
25
Oh,
years.
25. Okay, sorry.
Girl.
Sorry, my numbers are off by one. I didn't think about how long Mr. Brung in the inner service. That was my problem. But definitely congratulations to all of you. And we look forward to seeing 25 more years and more and beyond.
Yes.
Yeah, and just so you know, that's why we wore blue, because we were like BWS, the company
Yeah,
who was celebrating
we may
blue
get the
with water.
memo. So we're like a whole part of it. A whole part of it. But we must be whole a part of a commercial break because we have one more segment for you guys. So stay tuned for the excitement that's coming up with the Belize Global Elite Academy and their clinic that's right around the corner. Stay tuned for all of that. We'll be right back.
Imagine, a ref calls a technical on LeBron, ejects him, then walks to the bench, puts on a jersey, and checks into the game to take LeBron's place. WTH? That's what happened at the central bank. First, Kareem Michael was a deputy governor for financial supervision, basically the referee for the banks. And while he was in charge of that department, Choice Banks' license was cancelled. Not too long after, Mr. Michael resigned from the central bank and went as a paid private contractor to run the shutdown of the same Choice Bank. When he was finished, he simply walked right back into his old job at the central bank. Who does that? An arrogant Belizean public servant who knows all and thinks he's too big for his judgment to be questioned by anyone.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
Imagine, a ref calls a technical on LeBron, ejects him, then walks to the bench, puts on a jersey, and checks into the game to take LeBron's place. WTH? That's what happened at the central bank. First, Kareem Michael was a deputy governor for financial supervision, basically the referee for the banks. And while he was in charge of that department, Choice Banks' license was cancelled. Not too long after, Mr. Michael resigned from the central bank and went as a paid private contractor to run the shutdown of the same Choice Bank. When he was finished, he simply walked right back into his old job at the central bank. Who does that? An arrogant Belizean public servant who knows all and thinks he's too big for his judgment to be questioned by anyone.
These charter means aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Cherie Halsell,
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craft.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sunup on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your Nation Station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to your Monday episode of Sun Up on 7. We move on straight into our next conversation with representatives from the Belize Global Elite Academy. Today, they're here to talk about their Global Elite Coaches Clinic that's upcoming. So if there's anybody that's interested in coaching basketball, this is a great opportunity for you to subscribe and learn more about what can you expect from this course. Joining us on our couch, we have Mr. Roscoe Reese and Mr. Brods Neal. Both are coaches and course facilitators at Belize Global Elite Academy. Good morning, folks. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Today on set, Ren, let's talk about the course.
Yeah, let's talk about the need for this course in the first place. And of course, pushing out for persons to please be a part of it so they can be able to enhance their skills.
Mm-hmm. So, good morning, Belize. Well, coaching education is something I take very seriously as a coach. I've been a licensed coach now going on for 10 years through USA Basketball. And me and some of my colleagues, Coach Brads, Kashif Thomas, Leon Jacobs, Coach H, I had introduced USA Basketball to them, and they signed up, they took the course, they saw the benefits of what coaching education does for you as a coach. And we've had discussions around the table, and we were like, man, we need to roll out a coaching platform for the country of Belize to start to get more coaches involved and also get coaches licensed. We find that we have a lot of coaches just coaching off of maybe free will, the love of the game, but I've never really got introduced to coaching clinics and certification courses. So we wanted to tap into that and bring that to Belize. So that's why we came up with the idea to launch a Global Elite Coaches Clinic, and just to push the coaching education platform. So right now we have 2 clinics coming up in April.
Very well.
On the 19th, it's an online platform. So we'll roll out a Google Meet or a Zoom link for the coaches to log on and be a part of a virtual coaches session. And then on the 25th at the Hub in the Belize City, we're doing an in-person coaches clinic where the coaches will come in person. We have a morning session where it's a lot of theory information, and then in the afternoon, it's a practical session where coaches actually get to teach skills and just practice on how to be a coach in a practice session. So eventually, it's gonna lead up to where these coaches can get certified and licensed.
That's what I was gonna
so
talk about.
that's the end goal, is to teach these coaches from now up until around September, because USA Basketball opens back its licensing portal in October, and your license runs from October to September.
By participating in this course, they're going to be able to get licensed by this USA.
Well, that's what we're hoping for. The ones that are really serious about it, the ones that really want to become a coach, those are the coaches that in the long run will end up with a coaching license. And then our end goal after that is to actually employ these coaches. We want to put these coaches in different schools and pay them to teach the game the right way so that we could really build the sport.
Very good. So unfortunately, we're running out of time on today's episode. But Mr. Bradsby, I want to ask you, who is this course dedicated for? Like, who should sign up, and what skills should they come with to participate in this coaching session?
This is a beginner's course, and so we're looking at the origin of teaching basketball. So basically, we're asking for teachers, anyone who's working within the school system.
Okay.
We're asking for anyone who have small clubs, anyone in the neighborhood, moms and pops who want to get engaged in teaching. Because basically, we want this to be a introduction to coaching. So basically, we look at just lay out the platform of what coaching is all about, help you to create a practice plan, and talk to you about how to tweak the different areas of the game, teaching the skills of passing and dribbling and shooting. So we want to build on that. So the only way we can get this program moving is to start at the beginner's level. So we're asking anyone who is interested, and then there's a lot of parents who take their kids to these things. Parents sometimes become some of the greatest coaches in the world because of their interest of what their kids are participating in. But we're looking for anyone who have interest in basketball, be it male, female, whomsoever. So in organizations, we also want to open our service to organizations, school system. It don't matter if it's a government system or you have a private going, because there's a lot of clubs that's private that need some good coaching as well.
So true.
And even sometimes workplaces that wants to have their workers participate. Just want to help them to teach, to learn what basketball is about, and the coaching aspects of basketball and what role it plays in life. Again, we're involved in coaching for various reasons. I believe coaching saves lives. It's a great place for you to discipline young athletes, for them to learn a lot of good things about life skills. We say from the basketball court to the boardroom. That's our philosophy, that's our mindset. So, and we have a lot of good mentors around us that can help us. Myself being mentored by so many great players in the past, and we just want to pass on that great skill.
Very well. I like that so much. Thank you for giving an orientation as to what can people expect on the course.
Yes.
Basically, it's an entry course, and anybody that has an interest in improving their skills but also learning more about basketball,
yes,
how can they support the athletes, can sign up for this course.
Well, thank you so much.
Very well. All right, Mr. Reese, can you share details as to how can people sign up?
You could definitely check our Facebook page, Belize Global Elite Academy. Instagram, we have an email address, Belize Global Elite Academy @gmail.com, and just reach out, sign up. It's free. We don't have a cutoff number of participants. I know right now we have about maybe 20 to 24 coaches have signed up.
Very well.
Maybe 10 out of those 24 are women, females. So we're definitely looking to encourage more women to get into coaching and just be a part of something great. You know, we're building a coaching education platform that is going to be here to last for a lifetime.
Very good. Well, we thank you so much for joining us today on our couch to extend an invitation to anybody that's interested in improving their skills in basketball coaching to sign up for this course. Definitely our viewers are connecting with the program that you've created and saying it's going to be a very valuable opportunity for many persons to get into coaching. People are recommending for Renata to sign up as a coach, given the many hats that she wears.
I hung up my jersey a while ago.
Well, Ren, it's also time for us to wrap up
Yes,
the show.
wrapping up on the show. I've put the Facebook page in the chat for persons out there that are trying to know where to go to be able to sign up. So reminding you to tell a friend, sign up for yourself, whatever it is. Great opportunities are coming for you in April, for April 19th and April 25th. The 19th is the online and the 25th is in person. But it's just a start of what is to come.
Definitely.
So with that, guys, we've come to the ending of the show. This is Kevin's last day until
after Easter.
Until after Easter.
Yeah.
So he's going to be back. He's going to go traveling. So wish Kevin the traveling mercies and all the great time when he goes on his adventures.
Yeah.
Maybe we get a sunrise.
Yeah, I think I'll be sending you a sunrise from Brazil for sure. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
You need to give your final words because you're
I
gonna be...
just want to wish you all the best. Thank you so much for making some company to Renata and I, our guest that come to today's episode. I'll definitely have you in my mind, as I go about on this trip, learning some new things and of course doing my best to bring resources back to the country. As always, we have to look out for each other. So I'll see you after the Easter break. Have a great Easter. Yeah.
So you're stuck with me, guys. So with
Stuck with Ren. Yeah.
we send you off on your Montabulous Monday. Join Brandon and I back tomorrow for a Tabulous Tuesday. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye, folks. We love you.
A place to call your home, a place where you can grow. Stand by me and we'll take flight. We'll be there at morning's light. I've got you covered on all concerns we share today. You will discover how the world turns each day. When the sun comes up